Briner became North Carolina's state treasurer January 1st, 2025. And in the 168 days on the job, some changes have happened to the state treasurer's office. And State Treasurer Brad Briner joining us in the WECT digital studio. Mr. Treasurer, good to see you. Welcome to Wilmington.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Nearly 6 months on the job. You came from the world of high finance to government. Some want to ask you why, but what I'm going to ask you is, what's it been like? What's the transition from one to the other been like?
Sure. So I think the treasurer's job is a finance job.
Yeah.
And I think people miss that. Yes, it's in a political wrapper, and yes, there are many political elements to it. But in the end, I'm managing the state's money, $200 and change billion worth of the state's money. And so my experience historically has really prepared me to do just that. Yeah, there have been some different challenges politically that I'm unaccustomed to, but by and large, the challenge of money management is right down the fairway for me.
Governor Josh Stein signed a bill into law last week that directly affects your office, modernizing how money is invested for the state pension plan, which benefits more than 1 million people statewide. Instead of being the treasurer's responsibility, it's going to go to a 5-person kind of an advisory board.
Yes.
Why is that so important?
So this was the central premise of my campaign, is I think that governance reform leads to outcome reform. We have been the 50th best performing pension system in the country for a long, long time. And that's largely a choice of how much risk you're willing to accept. In part, that's because you have one person accepting that risk, and it's nauseating to lose money for the state. I get it. And making sure that we impanel a series of experts so that we can have a long-term strategy that'll last through those nauseating periods is really important.
The state health plan covers about 750,000 workers, retirees, and their dependents. They're looking at higher costs.
They are.
January 1 of 2026.
Yes.
The plan's board of trustees voted on that last month. Not necessarily the best news for those people who are in the system.
Right.
Why is it happening? Give folks a better understanding of why.
Sure. So healthcare costs go up faster than just about any other kind of costs in this country. For the state health plan, that's been about 6% a year for the last decade. Premiums and deductibles and copays for our state employees have gone up 0, compounded annually for that entire period of time. So we're proud that we were able to hold the line there. But at some point, you run out of reserves. We've gone through $1 billion of reserves, making sure that our state employees didn't feel the effects of that inflation. Unfortunately, we're out of those reserves now. So we asked the General Assembly first for as much money as they could give us. Both chambers in their budgets have over $100 million in incremental funding for the state health plan. In a year where there's only $300 in total for everything in the state, we think that represents pretty good effort on their part, and we're proud of that. We asked the providers for a lot of money. And we got a lot from them as well. And then we're asking the members for some too. I think the good news, since we started communicating this, and we started communicating it early because it was evident that we were going to have to do it, we thought it was going to be $20 per member per month for the lowest wage state employees. We think today that number is $5 per month. So it is less good. I recognize that. I wish it were 0. But I think we've got to get this plan sustainable for the long run. Otherwise, what are we doing?
State Treasurer Brad Briner in the WECT digital studio. Mr. Treasurer, I hope that we make this a regular time. When you are in the Wilmington area, stop by. We'll talk to you about some of the things that are happening and get a better understanding for people in southeastern North Carolina as far as the pension and the health plan is concerned.
Well, it is a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the time.